Welcome back, fellow time travelers, to the Time Traveling Tourist, Season 1, Episode 4. Today, we're diving into an epic tale of ambition, resistance, and transformation. This is the story of the Roman Conquest of Britain, a saga that reshaped a nation and left an indelible mark on history. Get ready to explore the battles, the alliances, and the cultural fusion that still resonates today. Let's dive in. The year is 43 AD. The Roman Empire, under Emperor Claudius, has set its sights on Britain. But why? To answer that, we need to rewind to Julius Caesar's expeditions almost a century earlier. In 55 and 54 BC, Julius Caesar attempted to conquer Britain. While he made a splash, quite literally, he didn't stay long. Caesar's campaigns were more exploratory than conclusive, a reconnaissance mission rather than a full-scale invasion. Still, these initial incursions planted the seeds of Rome's eventual conquest. Why Britain? It wasn't just another far-flung island to the Romans. It was a land of opportunity, rich in resources like tin, gold, and fertile land. Britain held immense economic potential. But there was more to it than resources. Conquering Britain meant strategic dominance, extending Rome's influence to the edge of the known world. For Emperor Claudius, it was personal. Claudius faced challenges to his legitimacy as emperor. A successful military conquest would bolster his reputation and establish him as a leader worthy of Rome's admiration. And so, he set his sights on Britain. In 43 AD, a massive Roman army, commanded by General Aulus Plautius, set sail for Britain. They faced challenges from the start, including treacherous seas and fierce resistance from the local tribes. The Celts, led by powerful tribal leaders like Caractacus and Togodumnus, fought valiantly using guerrilla tactics. Yet the discipline and superior strategy of the Roman legions proved overwhelming. Key victories, such as the battle at the River Medway, allowed the Romans to advance further into the island. By the time the Romans reached the Thames, their foothold in Britain was secure. Londinium, modern-day London, soon became a hub of Roman administration and trade. But conquest is rarely smooth. In 60 AD, the Iceni tribe, led by the fearless Queen Boudica, rose in revolt. Her anger stemmed from Roman mistreatment, including the brutal annexation of her lands and the abuse of her family. Boudica's rebellion shook Roman Britain to its core. Her forces razed Roman settlements, including Londinium. Despite initial successes, the rebellion ended in a devastating defeat for the Iceni. Boudica's courage, however, remains a symbol of resistance. In the decades that followed, Britain transformed under Roman rule. Infrastructure projects connected distant regions, while cities like Verulamium and Bath became centers of Roman culture. Roman customs blended with local traditions, creating a unique Romano-British identity. From mosaics to amphitheaters, the influence of Rome can still be seen in Britain today. Though the Roman Empire fell, its legacy in Britain endured. Latin influenced the English language, Roman roads shaped transportation, and their architectural innovations laid the groundwork for future generations. The Roman conquest of Britain wasn't just an event. It was a turning point, shaping the nation's future in profound ways. Long before Emperor Claudius set his sights on Britain, the Celtic tribes were no strangers to conflict. Fiercely independent and skilled in guerrilla tactics, the Celts knew how to use their rugged homeland to their advantage. Leaders like Cassivellaunus became legendary for their resistance against Roman forces. These early struggles foreshadowed the monumental clash to come. In 43 AD, Emperor Claudius sought to prove his legitimacy. Viewed by some as an unlikely leader, he needed a bold military triumph to solidify his rule. The conquest of Britain became his gamble and his legacy. With General Aulus Plautius at the helm, the Roman legions embarked on their most ambitious campaign yet. The Romans landed with precision and force. Yet the Celts were waiting, armed and ready to defend their homeland. Battles raged near rivers and forests, where the Romans' discipline clashed with the Celts' unorthodox strategies. Victories weren't easily won, but step by step, the Romans pushed forward. By establishing Londinium, the Romans created a vital hub for trade and governance. Strategically located near the Thames, this settlement became the heart of Roman Britain, a city that still pulses as modern-day London. Rome's secret weapon wasn't just its legions, but its infrastructure. Roads paved the way, literally, for efficient movement of troops, goods, and ideas. These roads connected isolated tribes, weaving Britain into the empire's grand tapestry. Life under Roman rule was a blend of adaptation and resistance. While some embraced Roman innovations, like aqueducts and advanced farming tools, others clung to Celtic traditions. This fusion gave rise to a unique Romano-British culture. To maintain control, the Romans built a network of forts across Britain. These served as military bases, administrative centers, and symbols of authority. They stood as a constant reminder of Rome's power. The conquest of Britain was no swift victory. It took decades of relentless campaigns, strategic alliances, and sheer persistence. Yet through it all, the Romans endured, gradually turning resistance into compliance. Religion became another battleground for cultural fusion. The Romans introduced gods like Jupiter and Mars, while Celtic deities retained their significance. Over time, these beliefs intertwined, leaving an enduring spiritual legacy. Rome's conquest of Britain may have ended with the fall of the empire, but its legacy remains. From the layout of cities to the very words we speak, traces of Rome are woven into Britain's DNA. The Roman Navy played a crucial role in the conquest of Britain. From transporting troops to ensuring supply lines remained secure, their ships dominated the seas. The control of waterways was vital in both warfare and trade. What was the conquest like for the Celts? For many, it was a struggle for survival, a fight to preserve their way of life. From fierce warriors to families forced to adapt, the Celtic tribes faced an uncertain future under Roman rule. The Romans didn't just conquer, they built. Their engineering feats transformed Britain's landscape. Aqueducts brought fresh water to settlements. Bathhouses introduced new standards of hygiene, and amphitheaters offered entertainment like never before. Not all tribes resisted the Romans. Some saw alliances as a means of survival or even opportunity. These partnerships, however, often came at a cost. Betrayals and shifting loyalties were the price of navigating Roman politics. Under Roman influence, agriculture in Britain flourished. Advanced tools, irrigation systems, and the introduction of new crops transformed the countryside. Britain became an important contributor to the empire's food supply. Women played significant roles during this era. From Celtic queens like Boudica leading revolts to Roman women influencing cultural integration, their contributions shaped the course of history. The Roman conquest brought with it a harsh reality: slavery. Enslaved individuals worked tirelessly in mines, fields, and construction, laying the foundation of Roman Britain. Their stories, though often untold, were pivotal to the empire's success. Trade flourished under Roman rule. Britain became a key player in the empire's vast economic network, exporting resources like tin and wool while importing luxury goods from across the empire. For Roman soldiers, life in Britain was demanding. From building forts to facing harsh winters, their discipline and resilience were crucial. Yet, they also formed communities, marrying locals and planting roots in conquered lands. As the Roman Empire began to decline, its hold on Britain weakened. By the 5th century, Roman soldiers withdrew, leaving behind a land forever changed. The echoes of their presence would resonate for centuries. The meeting of Roman and Celtic cultures was a clash of worlds. The Romans brought their structured civilization, while the Celts upheld their vibrant traditions. Over time, these differences blended, creating a unique cultural tapestry. The Romans introduced their pantheon of gods, often building temples atop sacred Celtic sites. While some Celts adopted Roman deities, others resisted, holding fiercely to their ancestral beliefs. The Druids, spiritual leaders of the Celts, were particularly targeted by Roman forces. Roman Britain became an economic hub. The introduction of coinage transformed trade, while skilled artisans crafted goods that were in demand throughout the empire. The economy flourished under Roman organization. Roman roads weren't just a marvel of engineering. They were lifelines. These well-paved routes connected towns, facilitated trade, and allowed the Roman military to move swiftly across Britain. Though built after the initial conquest, Hadrian's Wall symbolized Rome's control and its limits. Stretching across northern Britain, it was both a defensive barrier and a statement of power. Roman artistry left an indelible mark on Britain. From intricate mosaics to grand villas, their architectural legacy transformed the visual and cultural landscape of the island. Roman forts were more than military outposts. They were communities. Inside, soldiers trained, families lived, and local economies thrived around these bustling centers of activity. While Boudica remains the most famous, many other Celtic leaders resisted the Roman advance. Figures like Caractacus led determined campaigns, showcasing the resilience and ingenuity of the Celtic tribes. Rome's influence reached the very fabric of society. Latin, the language of the empire, left its mark on local dialects, while Roman laws and governance introduced a new structure to tribal Britain. For many Celts, life under Roman rule meant adapting to new ways. Roman tools improved farming, but taxes and tributes demanded by the empire added new challenges to their daily lives. Roman baths weren't just places to clean. They were hubs of social life and culture. For the Britons, these centers introduced a new concept of luxury and communal living. The Roman army wasn't just made up of Romans. Auxiliaries, recruited from across the empire, played a critical role in the conquest of Britain. These diverse troops brought unique skills and experiences to the battlefield. Rome's grip on Britain loosened as the empire faced crises elsewhere. With the withdrawal of troops and resources, Britain returned to tribal control, though the remnants of Roman civilization lingered. Today, we can walk through the remnants of Roman Britain. From roads and walls to coins and pottery, these fragments remind us of a pivotal chapter in history, a chapter that forever changed the island. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through history. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon, and tell us, what part of Roman Britain fascinates you the most? Until next time, keep exploring, fellow time travelers.